Hello everyone, welcome back to another bit of a spontaneous video, and we're starting off with the cat, which is, she's a bit annoyed about the noise, but yeah. So what we're actually doing in this video is overclocking another graphics card with the PhaseChange unit, and this time it works semi-well. About the GTX 480, the card is alive. It was apparently just the mount. I retested it again. Nothing really happened. The card didn't really scale with voltage, which is why there's no video about it. So just the card's still alive, but I didn't really giving it more voltage didn't really do anything. So yeah, GTX 480s do not scale with voltage past a certain point, which is what we've already seen on ambient, and code doesn't change that. But this graphics card right here is a GTX 970. If you're a long-time viewer of the channel, you might remember this card. That's the same MSI GTX 970 that I e-powered, which you can see right here. It looks like this. It's an abomination, but it works. You can see the voltage drop from idle to load once it kicks in combined. Yeah, it's almost done loading, and there we go. Yeah, that's the voltage drop from idle to load. So, yeah, the connections are not that good, but GTX 970s pull not a lot of power, which you can also see by the temperatures. It's not really getting any hotter than that. It's staying below 50. And yeah, it doesn't really draw a lot of current. Like the e-power it's slightly warm, but nowhere near as hot as when, like, this used to be a GTX 580. I think this is the GTX 580 that I blew up for science because I hated it. But yeah, here we see I'm just doing some fire strike testing. I also don't have the camera on the thing because I just randomly started filming this. Yeah, we passed at 1600 megahertz. So this card does scale. One issue with it is yeah, that temperature sensor doesn't know what is going on. I think it went as low as, yeah, minus 218, which that's like liquid helium territory, so yeah. That's maybe realistic. So by like up to like minus 50 you might be able to trust it, but you can see how it like drops off and then comes up again. So those could be realistically close to our actual temperatures. So the mount might not be the best one because it's still 10 degrees difference on a small die with a low power consumption like this one. But yeah, we can just keep going. I don't really know if plus 400 is such a good idea right now. I don't really know where these max out, but this I can tell you that this card isn't all that good. Like the ASIC quality is pretty bad, and I can't say if it is the e-power. The card was broken before, and I fixed it by e-powering it. But my pre-testing on ambient showed that this card is not all that great when it comes to, like, the core you can just force enough voltage into, but the memory on this card is actually what's the worst part, because this card artifacts at stock sometimes. Like some tests like Firestrike run fine at stock, but things like Heaven, for example, you get artifacts at stock clocks, and well, it's always been doing that. I don't know if it has any memory issue, and there we crashed. Okay, it's not going far over 1600. That's kind of sad. I could just give it more voltage. Yeah, let's give it more voltage, and I'll put it there. All right, let's increase the voltage a bit. Just gonna keep the multimeter inside. We're gonna go up to like 1.4. It's hopefully gonna be around 1.35 under load, probably less. Let's go like 1.41. Come on. There we go. Shouldn't really cause any issues. This thing doesn't draw a whole lot of current. So let's just see if, well, I don't think it will, let's try plus 325, that should bring it at like 1630-ish, and I'll get the camera set up properly. Yeah, I'll just cut this. Okay, wait, it's a bit shaking. There we go. LOD is active again. I could actually turn that off because I'm only looking for clocks. This OS is far too messed up to actually go for scores on this. Yeah, I could actually disable LOD then, because then we could also see our FPS, which, well, actually that's just, now you can see the camera's white correction, it's bad. As I said before, I'm looking into getting a capture card and also a better camera. Well, like a webcam, not a smartphone, so I can use OBS. That should make the video quality quite a lot better, because, well, yeah, if I have a capture card and a webcam all connected to the same thing, I would be able to basically what Buildzoid does, like have the screen and then like have a little view of the test bench on the side, so you can kind of see, like, look at the voltages a bit and stuff. But yeah, I don't have that yet. So for now we have to do this. But it seems to run 1630 if it applies. Like, it crashed. I don't think Maxwell has an issue with like the GTX 900 series. I don't think they have an issue with locking themselves into safe mode once they crash. That's a pretty big issue on GTX 200 series and also some 400 and 500 series cards, where like you crash them once and you have to restart because they lock themselves into safe mode. So there's a possibility that we might actually like not have our settings applied right now, and we can't tell because the FPS is not displayed. But I think it should, because as far as I know, Kepler is pretty well behaved and Maxwell is like just Kepler but tweaked. They're both 28 nanometer, but like Maxwell as an architecture is quite different. Like, they're both 28 nanometer, but Maxwell is a very, very different architecture. They still overclock overly similarly, though the, for example, the 980 Ti, like the GM200 cards, are quite different compared to like the GK110s, which is 780 Ti. But the smaller Maxwell ones, as far as I know, act like Kepler mostly. Oh yeah, it did apply. Okay, let's fix our LOD. This one. Can't just reset the default, right? Restore default, apply. Now LOD should be off. Okay, where were we at? 1628, okay. Maybe it will actually do 13350 now? I think I kind of subconsciously looked at the voltage while it was running, and it was around 1.35, I think. I might have made that up, but I think it was 1.35. Which is, well, that's 50 millivolts more, and depending on how the scaling on this works, we might actually get that. Speaking of, well, not speaking of anything, I'm just gonna check if what the ice buildup is. Overly fine-ish. We might have some dripping issues on the front side, because I don't have particularly good insulation there. Oh yeah, 1.353 is the core voltage. I have to say I'm not measuring directly behind the core, so the actual core voltage is probably a little bit lower, but this is on the, like, because this card is E-powered, the majority of the voltage drop is gonna happen between E-power and card, and this is on the card. still on a point that's pretty good connected to the V-Corp power plane. So there is gonna be some voltage drop, but I don't think it's not gonna be anywhere as near as severe as from the E-Power. And then even then, this doesn't draw a whole lot of current, or like wattage in general, so it should be fine. Because I think was quite a long time ago, but I think the voltage drop from the E-Power to the card was actually not all that bad. So that kind of suggested that the card doesn't draw a lot of current. Because I actually don't know what kind of power this pulls. It has two 6-pins, which is not that much. Then again, the die is bigger than like a GTX 680, and it's the same manufacturing process. And a 680 is like 170 to 200 watts. Yeah, I don't really know what the power consumption on this should be and what the current should be. It's definitely behaving well though. Like, that's kind of an overall trend. Nvidia cards are really easy when it comes to running them sub-zero. AMD cards tend to have issues. Mainly what I ran into with the Tahiti-based cards, so 7950, 7970, and an R9280. What I ran into is they have cold boot bugs, so when they crash, you have to heat them up again, all the way up to -20, and only then they will reboot properly. So, and they like crash the entire, like when they crash properly, so you need to reboot every time they crash. Which makes overclocking them very, very tedious, especially because my PhaseChange only has on and off. Yeah, okay, the score is lower because LOD is off now. But we are at 1653 as you can see. That's nice, that's nice. So we did actually pass. Let's just try that. That's probably not gonna pass, but well, who knows, maybe it will. But yeah, like coming back to the AMD cards, they the main issue is just like they only boot at -20 or hotter. And since my PhaseChange only has on and off, I can't adjust the temperature. It just runs or it doesn't. I have to like turn it off. And then as soon as I hit -20, turn it back on again, because I don't want all the ice turned into water. But the problem is the temperature rises actually pretty quickly. There's not a lot of thermal mass in the evaporator. And the compressor absolutely does not like being turned off and on all the time. So, yeah. And there we go, it didn't pass. So what would that have been? That would have almost been 1700. So let's try something like that. That crash was pretty hard, so 350 might have been just our limit. But let's see. Do I have GPU Pi on this? I do not. I would actually love to do some GPU Pi on this. Because then, like, GPU Pi doesn't care about your memory, and this card having bad memory is not gonna hold us back. If I don't have GPU Pi, I can just download it from HWBot. It's pretty easy. Let's see how far we get with our Fire Strike though. Yeah, okay. So 350 might have been just our hard limit. I mean, so the nice thing about Maxwell is it has 2 MHz stepping. At least I think it should. So 1663, and if I now do 1661, yeah, so it has 2 MHz stepping, which is just allows you to be very, very precise to when you tune your core clock. And I don't know why Nvidia just stopped doing this. So like Well, actually Fermi also has very precise stepping, but then for Kepler they went to with 13 megahertz. Then with Maxwell they brought it back to 2, and then with Pascal they went back to 13.5, and then Turing and Ampere have 15, which is just like 50 megahertz. That's like, it's not a whole lot for like daily settings, but it is quite significant for overclocking. So I really do like that Maxwell has the ability to, like, for example, we could be running this, but actually I just kind of want to see GPU Pi. So I'll install GPU Pi real quick and be back right with you. So system's rebooting right now because I need to adjust that like Windows timing thing for GPU Pi. It's quite a bit slow to boot actually, and the multimeter turned off. There we go. Yeah, so that's as you can see, we are booting at well, the multimeter, the probe's not long enough, so I can't show you, but we are booting at like under -50, just fine. Except that it just crashed, kinda. No, it's running, but my keyboard and mouse just don't detect. Now they're back. There we go. So, we have GPU Pi right here. Let's do our 350 since we know that passes. Let's just do that for the hell of it. Maybe it will do something to the driver. It shouldn't, but yeah. So, we want to run CUDA. Let's just do 1 billion. Those settings we will have to figure out. And close that. No, this is actually hitting the card quite badly. The voltage actually dropping lower than 3D Mark GT1. And the temperatures also go up quite a bit. Huh. That's interesting, because usually GPU Pi is fairly light. Like, you can run really high clock speeds on it. Also, we can do this. We can, I've been told, if you just lower your memory clock, you can increase your stability. And actually I have no idea how good that time is. It's probably not all that great. But let's just see how far we can push the clock. Yeah, let's just confirm that we can run really high clocks. Because this like insta-crashed in 3D Mark. And it seems to run at least a little bit. Might still crash later into the run. Also, we can probably give it more voltage. Like, I'm happy to go up all the way to 1.4 under load. Probably even more. Like, the VRM that's on it, it was designed to power a GTX 580, and I'm using it to power a GTX 970. So, there's like, let's just go for 400. As long as the screen doesn't black out, we are fine. Yeah, so like, I don't think I'll blow the E-power with raising the voltage. The problem I have is that the voltage might just raise, like go too high in idle and cause issues. 1700, by the way, I just noticed. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. It's stock at like 1300. Yeah, so we can run really high. I don't think it will do plus 500, but let's try this. Also, it would maybe help to like let the card soak a bit of cold, because well, the ice behind the core is still fine. No changes. There we go. I like how this is like, this is basically Pascal clocks now. Like if you get like a reference 1080 or something like that, it's probably gonna run at this frequency. Just that it will do it like with the stock heatsink and not a phase change and at stock voltage. But I mean, yeah, like 980 Ti's can reach 2100 megahertz. I've seen that on HW board. Damn, this thing just keeps going. Please do plus 500, that would be so great. Every time it takes a bit longer to display that, I just kind of freak out a bit, because I think it's finally crashed. But like those I kind of think those temperatures are accurate. I like if we crash, like at the point where we crash, I'm just gonna let it sit and cool itself down. So like we get some cold soaked into the card. Oh my god, here we go, 500. You can also very slightly see how raising the clock actually makes the card, well, it might just be that we keep running it at a high frequency, but like, I mean, the test's at a high frequency, not the core. But you can kind of see how it like gets progressively a little bit hotter when we raise the core clock, because that does increase power consumption a little bit. It might also just be that we keep hitting it with the load. Here we go, it actually does 1800. Is that too much? I kind of feel that will be too much. Yeah, that's too much. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, let's dial it back to something a little less ridiculous. Oh yeah, we need to restart GPU Pi. Please? It's doing it. Just needs to finish. Come on. There we go. Okay, it's doing 525. Let's actually check HW board. GTX 970. Let's compare results. How good is this card? Probably not very, since I've said the... Wait, 20 seconds? Oh yeah, 20, because we were 26. I thought 16 for a bit. Hey, we are... Oh, yeah, I've already subbed this once. On water. Where I also got pretty high already. So, I might be able to... Wait, what did I just get? 25.54. Yeah, I would be 10th. Okay. Exact same clock as well. But LN2, and I'm doing... Well, I mean, this person's also using PhaseChange, so it's not that big of a... Oh my god. Yeah. Does this person say much voltages? So this is my current one. Yeah, that's just water, and... Yeah, that's what the card looks like. Also on the old motherboard that has... that still works, but I'm not using it anymore because it's too janky. Anyway, this person is on PhaseChange as well. But what happened to the image? Is that corruption? Or is that like an artistic filter? Also Windows 7. Yeah, I might have to run this on Windows 7. He's using 10,128,000. Let's just copy that. Maybe it will do something good. They are using a gigabyte card. Oh, that looks the 2 dBi port. That's a Windforce. Okay. That probably has a better output filter than what my card has, because my card has Literally 2 SMD polymers and a few CAN types. That's the entire output filter. If I remember correctly, Gigabyte liked to put better output filters on their cards. Yeah, that guy also underclocked the memory. Need fresh OS at minimum. Possibly a bit of efficiency too. Okay. So that person was also just warming up, I see. I was using an 8700K and mine's faster. Not that it matters. Okay, so I really don't know if we can beat that. But well, this person beat that with a lower clock. So maybe this just is really inefficient. Let's see. Let's do a 2500 first. Let's see what the new settings do. Maybe I should have looked at some other results too, because that's from the one that was apparently inefficient. This is not hitting... oh, this is crashing. I was just gonna say this is not hitting the card as hard because V-core is slightly higher. Can we try that? I also love how this thing sits at 1.25. That's literally just the vid, because there is no V-core VRM on this card anymore. Like, that's the cool part about E-powers. Also the, it has no idea how much power it's pulling. Okay, it just keeps crashing now. That's, not great. Does it pass again if we reset to default? Because I don't actually know what these settings do. Oh no, it's just crashing now. Huh. Maybe that one was just a really lucky run. I am increasing V-core to let's do 1.45 idle. And let's see what that brings us to under load. Screw it, went to 1.46. Okay, please run. Also, I'm going to those settings again. We're getting 1.388 at minimum. 1.39 average. It's running now. So there is still scaling in the card at like pretty high voltage. Like over 1.35 I consider pretty high voltages for graphics cards, on ambient at least. At these temperatures, like I've seen people run 1.6 volts into dry ice, and this is basically the same temperatures as that. So yeah. Anyway, 25.3. This could be pretty hard to get down to 25 flat. Can we try that again? I have a feeling that it won't. Or will it actually? It might. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't like that, does it? I'm starting to have a feeling the mount might... Is 525 really the limit? Or is it just crashing now again? I'm beginning to feel that maybe the mount is actually just bad. Because, like, that should be accurate. Like from what I've seen before, like as I was pulling the card down, this sensor was fairly consistent with what I saw on the thermal probe in the evaporator, all the way to like -50. So let's say for safety we trusted all the way down to -40. Then that would have been like we went over -30. But we got a bit of a time again. This is a slightly better time. Okay, I don't think it's worth saving. I can do a proper sub later. Then again, HW Country Cup is running, and I haven't actually submitted anything. Well, this doesn't have the correct wallpaper anyway, so more voltage. Okay, I'm gonna give it 1.5 idle. That's really high. I shouldn't be running like long 3D benchmarks at that voltage, because that might... Oh, actually at this temperature it's probably fine. On ambient, like on water, that would be death territory. Okay, we now have 1.5 volts idle. I'm gonna let it actually soak for a bit. I have a fair amount of ice on my back. How's the okay, battery on the camera's good. Alright, thermal probe says -50. Can we get that to like -53? No, it actually stays at -50.7. We might actually just be putting out enough heat for it to just stay there. Yeah, it's not actually going lower, so we might just be putting out that much power, heat by now. So let's see. 530. Didn't work before. We get 1.43 under load. It's running though. Yeah, the temperatures are getting a bit high. That's like... well, actually, can you do -28 with a really good water chiller? I don't know. Oh, we broke 0.2. Does this work now? Like, if we don't gain 10 megahertz from like 50 more millivolts, then we are probably getting towards the end of our scaling. Oh, this is... no, it's still working. Yeah, the thermal probe's at -48 now. 25.1. We might still make it to we might still make it to 25 flat. Also, we are approaching now. We are approaching 1900. That might be like liquid nitrogen territory now, because so the absolute end. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm giving it a little bit more voltage, just a little bit. Okay, we are also not at the point where I can't really erase the voltage anymore, because like just turning it a very slight amount now gives me 10 millivolts. We are at 1.4, 1.44 now under load. Yeah, this is probably the best, like the highest voltage I can go, because the potentiometer is now going dangerously close to being a short circuit. At that point we will kill the card. But yeah, like this frequency is actually pretty high, and it passed. Oh my god, we did it! We actually did it! We broke 25. Nice. Now I just want to see the clock higher. So we gave it 20 millivolts more. Let's see if that's worth like slightly over 10 megahertz. It's not instantly crashing. That's good. Ah, come on. Okay. I'll take that. I take that too. Yeah, the temperature is like... Oh, come on! No! Run it again! Do it again. You can't do this. Yeah, the mount's probably, like, not optimal. Which is probably not being helped by my case being... well, a case and not a test bench. Which... basically means like I mount the card to the phase change and then slot the card in. And it passed. I think that's actually worse time than before. Didn't we have 856 before? Now we have 858. 956. Now we have 958, I think. Then again it passed at like essentially 1860. Call this E-power now. Okay, it's warmer than before, but it's still, like, warm and not hot. Alright, what happens if I put this back to 0? Oh, it's bugged, is it? It's bugged. No. Okay, I'll save that. I'll restart the PC and let's try. Like, so it shouldn't give us any more performance because GPU Pi like is entirely within the compute part of the GPU. It shouldn't need anything else. But it still needs to store data somewhere. I don't think it's enough data so that VRAM clock makes a difference. Like you see people clocking down the VRAM to get more better GPU Pi. That's mostly due to because lowering VRAM clock means you can push the core a little bit higher, but let's see. I haven't actually been in a situation yet where I had to lower my memory to get the core clock stable. Yeah, mouse and keyboard are not detect anymore. I'm just gonna have to wait until they re-emerge. That's probably a byproduct of the cold. Yeah, they are back. Or maybe just a byproduct of this Windows being like messed up. Anyway, we were this. There we go, same clock, but with not underclocked memory. Actually, it is the exact same memory clock it was showing before. It might have actually not applied our memory offset. That's like kind of weird though. Doesn't this come at 3.5 gigahertz? Yeah, like the time is also worse. What happens if we overclock? Oh, cool. It's Did we mess it up by loading that profile? Okay, I'm restarting it one more time. This time I'm not applying the profile. Because even though we reset it back to 0, maybe it did something weird. Alright, let's wait for peripherals to come back. It's taking its time this time. Nope, it's back. Okay, 555. Let's just do that for placebo and GPU Pi. $24,964. Still not the fastest we've had. Yeah, but it's still like at the same. Why? What's going on with this card's memory? That's weird. Does Inspector know what's going on? Oh yeah, I put a shortcut there, I forgot. So... yeah, it's not working here either. What the hell? What's going on? Okay, I'm just... Does this actually do something? Because 555 is not divisible by 2. Does it actually increase our clock? Yeah, it does, by 2 megahertz. Let's see. Let's see if we get a full 1860. Yeah, also our power reading. That's actually quite high. 40% of our power. I wonder whether that's just the memory now. Like what? Why is it... why? Okay, that's conceivably faster. I just want to know, I just want to see GPU-Z now. How are we consuming 40% of our power target? Like, let's see the... so this has... oh, it has a default limit of 150 and a maximum of 160. And... oh, this has a hotspot measurement. Ah, I forgot the 100 series has this. Oh, that's really cool. Let's see what kind of hotspot we get. Probably... oh boy. Yeah, the mount is... it's effed up. Yeah, okay. Though that means, like, we are effectively only this it crashed. Yeah, but did we really get to... no, it's just reading wrong. We had 20% power. And like, yeah, like 6-pin 2, just no power whatsoever. And this is like the memory. Yeah, GPU chip out 2 watts. Yeah, this is what it looks like when you replace the entire vCore VRM. Yeah, but that hotspot, okay, the mount is just bad. Which, I mean, I have to admit, I didn't actually put thermal paste on. I just used the thermal paste that was left over on the evaporator from the GTX 480 and I respread it. So, yeah, this mount is messed up. 934. Yeah, anyway, we can do a sub 25 second run with this card. Yeah. And I think we are pretty much maxed. I don't... Let's see if it can do 2 more, but I think... Actually, now it's just doing 1 more. It might be like a 1.9 megahertz stepping then instead of a 2 mega, or like a... I don't know. It might not be exactly 2 megahertz stepping. Illegal memory access. Yeah, anyway, I think that should conclude the video. So 1860 megahertz. That's quite good. It's just GPU pi, but knowing that these cards like max out at 2100 with like liquid nitrogen, I think with I got considerably close considering this minus 10. Like, that's water chiller. That's not phase change territory. That you can do that with the water chiller. So the mount is probably like foobarred. If I do a better mount on this, it should be much better, and I'll be looking forward to that. But yeah, I think we should power down now. Just power down. I just whoops. Take the thing. It's off. Phase change is off. Cat is also relieved. Yeah, let's take the fan. You can still hear the phase change. So yeah. Let's take the cables out. Those cables as well. Yeah, the card now needs 4 power connectors, and now I need to like... Put the screw in there. Kind of have to hurry because the ice on the back is starting to melt. Oh man, I really made that screw tight. There we go. Yeah, it's the temperature's going up quite quickly, so I just put the phone down for a bit. Take the card out. I don't want all that water going into my motherboard. Let's not have that. Alright. Motherboard is dry. Looking alright. And here's the card. You wanna see the back of it? It should have started to melt now. I don't know, it's still fairly cold. Yeah, that's what the back looks like. And yeah, here you can see the back of the power. Forgot what it looks like. I made a video about the card a while ago, and then yeah, that's warm, like a bit warm. Yeah, so those are this is the first e-power I ever made. And you just saw it run at 1860 megahertz, so I think I can at least call it somewhat of a success, but yeah, you shouldn't be building e-powers like this. Anyway, that should be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. This has been a successful bench run, not like the GTX 481, which was ultimately a bad mount. It just didn't really do anything. Yeah, both the volt. Actually, I didn't test the memory board, but the different topic. It didn't really do anything. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, goodbye.